Hello, everybody. It has been a hot minute. I hope you all are doing well. It's been kind of a heavy day energetically, I feel. It seems like the collective is going through some deep emotional purging and healing, and I feel like we just need some clarity on what all it is that we are feeling here. In spurts, probably starting from last night, I started to feel like the divine feminines especially were starting to pick up on some of the insecurities faced by their counterparts. We already had one card come out here. And it just seems like there's a lot of soul searching going on both ends for both the divine masculines and the divine feminines at this time. So I think we all could benefit from some clarity around what all these emotions are trying to tell us. And it's funny that from the Moonology deck, the same card that I saw when I split the deck is the card that came out, which is nothing is yet set in stone. So I feel like there is an energy of making decisions at this time for both the masculine and the feminine, but there's still this energy of I need to really kind of weigh out all these options that I'm trying to have open for myself to see what the best move is for me to make. And I feel like it's more so the masculines this time that maybe really feeling insecure about what the feminine is up to, especially because if there is a no contact situation, there's a lot of inner child healing I feel like that's happening here. Inner child is triggered big time for both the counterparts, and it's kind of creating this intense emotional push and pull dynamic actually, that is trying to heal the codependency that the collective has been trying to fight through for so long. It's funny that codependency and it is safe for you to love both came out together from the Romance Angels deck. And this really coincides with the first card that came out from the tarot, which is the Hermit card. The Hermit card is all about understanding yourself better, understanding your situation and your circumstances better, going deep within, doing a lot of self-discovery. And I feel like that's part of what this A Fiery Climax Approaches card is also referring to, because it's kind of like a tower moment within yourself before a tower moment in the 3D takes place. But this tower energy just is divine intervention and sudden changes that need to happen. I'm not getting that it's anything that you need to fear or worry about by any means. At the bottom of the Moonology deck, we had have faith in your dreams. So I feel like all those times that spirit kept saying not yet, I feel like you're getting closer to the okay now phase. For those of you who are resonating with this energy, at the bottom of the tarot we have the Three of Pentacles, or the this is Three of Pentacles, create and support. And I just heard my guide say co-create with spirit and support energetically what it is that you're trying to manifest by allowing yourself to feel your emotions and yet staying aligned at the same time. There's a difference between processing and healing your emotions and getting stuck in a negative mindset or cycle, which is, I think, what Spirit is trying to make sure that you don't get sucked into here at this time. I keep seeing the Five of Pentacles card in my third eye, actually, and I'm feeling like, you know, a real heaviness in my chest, in my heart chakra area. And it's almost like it's this phantom lump in the throat where it's not even really technically a lump in my throat, but I'm feeling it as this feeling of, gosh, I could almost burst out in tears, you know. And I feel like the divine feminines are feeling like the universe is kind of testing or taking advantage of their patience. I'm hearing a divine feminine step in to say, stop, you know, taking advantage of my patience. I feel like you're angry with spirit, and spirit saying that that's not what I'm doing. I'm healing things behind the scenes so that you don't go through this entire cycle again. The Two of Cups emerged here, and notice how this person is completely underwater. And the fish woman, this is actually the Story Medicine Tarot 2nd edition, the animal woman that I'm using. And this is created by Jessica Zinchuk, who's actually featured herself on this deck. And she talks a lot about, you know, connecting to your higher self, connecting to nature, giving yourself that story medicine, which also relates to what dialogue we tell ourselves, what we feed ourselves when we are in a given mindset. It's so easy to start telling yourself a negative narrative when you are not feeling very high vibrational. And I feel like that's what spirit is trying to pull you out of by putting you into this hermit mode. I feel like a lot of you divine feminines don't actually want to be in a hermit mode. You kind of feel like you're forced into it at this time. And, you know, there is this sense of just feeling alone. We had the moon card come out as well, face down. But the moon card is all about, you know, things slowly being illuminated, knowing part of the picture, but not being able to see the entire picture yet. And this card does carry an energy of anxiety. And I feel like some of you are thinking that, you know, as soon as we start to make some progress, then all of a sudden we're sucked back. Like, you're wondering if you're ever going to get past this phase that you're in to actually see something tangible happen in the 3D, or if you're holding on to something that is hopeless. But spirit is saying that, you know, if it's not the end, or if it's not okay, it's not the end yet, right? Whatever it is that's meant for you, whether it is your actual divine counterpart or a higher vibrating soulmate or somebody else, even a karmic connection that might be healthy for you, you are going to get what is meant for you. And you're going to find ways to protect yourself or to provide that for yourself, which you desire from a counterpart, until you are able to find your counterpart who will be able to provide that for you. We have the Seven of Wands, which it says, I release control, I practice humility. I feel like some of you have actually really deeply surrendered here to where you're not trying to control the narrative. You're not trying to continuously tap into the energy to see what's up with your counterpart. But at the same time, you are determined to be okay. You know, you are determined to kind of figure out what your own next steps are, because you know that you need to settle down in life. You know that, you know, whether it's with someone else or just by yourself or whatever it is, like, you need to make sure that you're going to be okay. You've been working so hard at filling your own cup. And at the same time, Spirit is saying, you have the ability to do this. That fire within you is continuously burning. And sometimes you feel like those flames are consuming you. It's like, I'm not choosing to be by myself, yet I always find that I'm alone. You feel like you are struggling with finding anybody that you can connect with and create memories with, because the person that you're longing for isn't present at this time, and you're trying so hard to not be codependent on that person, to still be able to make the best of things with what you have. But you're also getting really frustrated. For some reason, I'm downloading here with the Eight of Swords card. It's funny how this is exactly what popped out just now. I feel like for some of you, your masculines are stalking you on social media, and when you post things that are not even necessarily meant for them to see, or, even if it's like, they're going to see it, but it's not aimed at them, the masculine starts to feel very low vibrational about themselves, almost in a emotionally immature, jealous kind of way. Like, how can you possibly be happy without me? Like, do I even cross your mind? All of, those really immature, banal thoughts just begin to cross this masculine's mind. And as it crosses their mind, it starts to kind of tie you up in these invisible ropes, right? See how this person is kind of holding on to a log, and she looks like she's screaming or crying, and you feel like whatever you do, you're kind of making the wrong move, because it's impacting the masculine's ego in a way that, you feel like, well, maybe he would have made a move, but now I probably gave him the wrong idea, or, was it a mistake to post my own happiness, because now, like, maybe I just need to completely tap out of his energy. But the thing is, you didn't mean for that to be in his energy in the first place, and how he reacts, Divine Feminine, is not your concern to control, right? You have all the right in the world to express yourself when you're joyful, to share what is joyful to you with the world. If the masculine chooses to feel a certain way, or some type of way about, what energy they're seeing you in, that's for them to heal, right? This card says, I follow my healing. This is the Eight of Cups, and usually this is known as the walk away card, or the emotional release card. But in this deck specifically, this is walking toward what is healing you, as opposed to walking away from something. And I think that in itself is a really healing way to think about this card, because walking away from something can often be really, really difficult. We may not feel ready to do it. We may feel insecure about doing it because we don't trust the future narrative. But if we just think about things in a way where we are honoring our healing, we are following the path of our healing, rather than thinking about it as walking away from something or leaving something behind, I think that in itself is story medicine. That in itself completely changes the entire narrative of how you view what it is that you're going through, what it is that you're feeling, and you give yourself that permission to heal that you never did before. It's giving yourself permission for a fresh start. The Daughter of Pentacles, this is the Page of Pentacles in this deck, and it says, I am big and I am small. This is honoring the inner child within you. This is honoring the emotionally mature adult within you. This is saying that, there are multiple facets to you, and you have the right to feel and meet your own needs. You cannot control how your person is going to react to what you do, what you say, what you post. And if there still is that type of reaction that creates a low vibrational energy, then that shows that there is so much more healing still to be done. And as much as you want union right now, neither of you are really ready for it. I speak from the deep seat of my soul. This is the Nine of Pentacles card, and I absolutely love this because when you are feeling abundant and confident within yourself, you stay true and in alignment with what is for your highest good. Because more than likely, what is for your highest good is for the highest good of everybody. And if you resonate with being a true twin flame on this journey, then you know that you doing this is going to be mirrored within your counterpart. They will start choosing what is in alignment with their values, their morals, their ethics, and start to act in alignment with their higher selves. They're going to stop codependency and people pleasing. They're going to overcome their internal hurdles and actually start moving toward becoming their fullest potential, moving toward their highest self, moving toward what is in alignment with what they desire. Divine Feminine, my guides are telling me right now very strongly to reiterate that we don't always act in accordance with what we want, right? Like, for example, if weight loss is a goal for us, yet we still give in to cravings sometimes. We still overindulge a little time, sometimes, or we skip an exercise or healthcare routine that we know is going to help us. That doesn't mean that we don't want it, right? That doesn't mean that we don't want to see that change in our physical body or our health or our appearance. But what it does mean is that we're still struggling with two parts of ourselves, that lower vibrational, immediate gratification desiring inner child, and that more emotionally mature higher self that says, well, think about the bigger picture, think long term, don't just go for immediate gratification, right? Think of your divine masculine kind of in the same way. They want this connection, but they have to reach that level of alignment to where they are acting in alignment with what they want. It doesn't have any bearing on whether or not they actually want you. And I feel like society has, created these adages or perceptions that, if they want it, they would come for it. If they wanted me, they would come for me. But look at this. I move in God's speed. Yes, you move at your own pace towards what you desire based on how emotionally mature and in alignment you are. Sometimes we continue to do things that make us feel really crappy. That doesn't mean that we don't want to feel better, right? That just means that it's a habit that we have to break free of. We have to become more conscious in the decisions that we make. Every step we have to kind of keep questioning ourselves and analyzing, is this going to take us where we want to be, or is this moving us further away from where we need to be? So that takes a lot of awakening. That takes a lot of conscious decision making every step of the way, and not everybody is quite there. Even we as divine feminines, the awakened ones, are not always quite there. We are all human. We all have these shortcomings. We have the tower at the bottom of the deck, but the good thing is that the divine is always watching. The tower is recreate, right? Sometimes sudden shifts and changes happen that completely make us feel like our world is crumbling down. It feels like a disaster. But that is exactly what makes room for our desires to come in. If we are holding on to low vibrational habits, patterns, thought patterns, relationships, behavioral patterns, addictions, codependencies, these tower moments is what makes that world crumble so a new world can be built. To take down what has been created that is no longer serving the highest good, to recreate in that space with something that is. I'm going to try and channel some final messages of closure here. I feel like this message was really important for the collective today. Young Mother of Wands. This is the Knight of Wands. Rekindle soul fire. You are being put in hermit mode for a reason, Divine Feminine, and your masculine is actually internally in a hermit mode as well, even though their external life may be quite busy and occupied, but internally they are in a hermit mode where they're digging deep because Spirit is forcing them to, and you are actually being forced to as well. When major changes happen, sometimes there is a big pause so that, it doesn't completely shake us off kilter. So right now, even though you may be feeling alone and isolated and like your life is just not looking the way that you want it to socially, maybe, even if professionally it is and in other areas it is, but you feel like you're lacking on the personal emotional levels, there is a higher reason for that, as Spirit shows. And this cycle is very much still in the process of completing, to where you will actually need a sudden surge of energy for what is to come when your divine counterpart or whoever is meant for you and aligned with you comes into your life. So really, Spirit is saying right now, trust me, you think you don't want the quiet time, but you're gonna need this quiet time, because I need you to gather as much energy as you can, regroup yourself as much as you can, because when this person comes in, they're going to make some big bold moves and your whole world is kind of going to be shaken up. You're going to need all the energy you can get. Divine Feminine, Daughter of Swords here, right? I follow my imagination. Yes, indeed, this Divine Masculine quite has an overactive imagination, and they are telepathically transferring it to you right now, causing you to overthink and causing you emotional angst that you really could just do without right now. So believe me, this hermit mode is a blessing in disguise, Divine Feminine. There's nothing to fear at all. Everything follows its natural course, and everything is on course just as it should be. So I will wrap up tonight's reading right here. I do have some exciting news, you guys. I did create a Patreon. I will link it in the video description box below for anybody who might be interested in joining. It's only $12.12 a month, and there is a lot of things that I'm going to be offering on there. There is one psychic development beginner's basic course already on there for anybody who might be interested. And I do invite you all to join me there as well. It's going to be such a beautiful collective community. I will also link my Instagram and TikTok handles in the video description box below for anybody who might want more content from me. And Instagram is the place to purchase personal paid readings and other services from me as well. So all of that will be in the video description box. Thank you so much for sticking with me, and I will talk to you all again in the next video. Have a wonderful, magical night, you guys.